Kristen's therapist needs to be fucking fired.
Oh my
fucking
God.
Fired.
What'd she say? What's 15 minutes out of your day?
Bitch, what is she have a male therapist? Like the actual fuck. I've had therapists that I didn't really mesh well with. They would have never said that to me.
No one can say that.
No. No. I'm so sorry.
Listener discretion advised. Adult language and mature content.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Two Queens, One Screen. I'm Jen.
I'm Keeley.
And we just got done talking about what we're going to talk about next week. So if you were following the Maui attempted murder case that we were just talking about, also we were talking about the Gilgo Beach murderer. Yeah. You were sending me TikToks about it. Yes. So we talked about that maybe 30 episodes ago. Can you believe we have that many?
I know, right?
We're prolific. It's going to be episode 61. Yeah. So he confessed. So Keeley, I was asking her a bunch of questions about like how that process goes. So we're going to see if there's any updates next week. And then Keeley's going to kind of walk through about where they are in the court cases from that point of view. And I think it's really interesting. I just learned a lot. And so I told her I want to be able to research more and not sound dumb when we talk about it next week.
Right. We don't want to just kind of talk out of our you-know-what and look really dumb on here.
Right.
Nobody wants that. Even though some of you may be like,
done that before.
You look dumb anyway, but that's okay.
So we have some Bravo. We've got some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We've got some Valley, which I have some feelings about. And then Keeley had a really fun thing. I don't even know what to call it. Because you were saying it's not really true crime story time. It's just this funky little thing. Do you want to start with that?
Sure.
Do we start with that? Yeah.
We can. I think it's an interesting, and it's not really even a debate. I don't like that word. It's just a topic of conversation that I honestly called you and said, are we allowed to talk on it? Because you and I are white women and this has to do with race. And you have to be educated and understand what you're speaking on when you're speaking on another race. And I was nervous. It's a very interesting topic, but I was nervous that I don't want to offend people. And I don't want to sound uneducated that but you said no, it was a good idea.
Yeah, and I like it a lot. I liked it a lot, especially because where I live in the South. I live in Florida, which is kind of a different version of the South. I get that. But like when we go, there's a lot of history here that being from Idaho originally, and you're different because you were from Idaho, but also you spent a lot of time in New York and you lived in like a super old house.
Yes.
That was actually part of the
Underground Railroad. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Turned off. Just totally turned off. So I grew up in Idaho and I was in school there until the 5th grade. And history that you learn is the Oregon Trail. That's what I learned about in school, right? Because and I hadn't got into junior high and high school where they go into the broader context of like, this is the U.S. history, this is global history, world history, this is geography. I hadn't gotten that far yet, but I remember thinking history was the Oregon Trail. History was pioneers and Native Americans, and that's what history was. Yeah. And kind of knew a little bit about Thanksgiving, but that was really it. And then when I hit middle school, we moved to Washington, D.C.
Oh, boy.
In Northern Virginia, but Northern Virginia technically is a different state than the rest of the Virginia. It feels like very metropolitan. And I remember it kind of blowing my mind how much more history we had and how complex our country's history was. Yeah. How old were you when you were in New York?
Oh, we moved when I was 10. So for a while. I mean, it was definitely, um, I don't remember having a lot of friends or seeing a lot of other kids that were different races or different skin color. We lived in a moderate neighborhood. It was white people. Like I don't remember anything in class or in school about race or different skin color or anything, any sort of teaching or education about that. We moved to Idaho, and Idaho is very racist here. There are not a lot of Black people here, and very often white people have very strong feelings about Black people here.
Yeah,
I think there was maybe less than 5 Black kids in my entire graduating class, and there was about 500 of us. And I only remember one girl, but if I look at my yearbook, maybe there were 3 Black kids, and that's it.
I was going to say the same thing about my elementary school, and one of them, her name was Jennifer, and she was in my class. And it was literally, there was white Jennifer and Black Jennifer. And that's, looking back, I go, oh my God. Like, oh, that's awful. That's awful. But yeah, I think she had like a couple siblings in the school, and I don't really remember anybody else. It's a very different thing. So I think what's so interesting about what you found, I think, is that it puts it into a societal context.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of layers of like, what is okay, what is not okay. The truth. I think we live in a post-truth era, right? But is there value in
correct
being in that way? And I'll let you jump into it, but I have a lot of feelings about it that I just thought it was super, super interesting.
Well, I'm glad that you liked it. So what initially set it off was I was scrolling on TikTok, and there was a content creator that said, if you like paranormal history things on Netflix, there is this series called Files of the Unexplained, and it's only 1 season. There's a handful of episodes. These episodes are 30 minutes long, 35 minutes long. So they're super short, super fast, very interesting. And she said one of the episodes was so fantastic, and it had a lot of history and a lot of information in it, and plus a little bit of paranormal. And it was called the Myrtles Plantation. And I have heard of the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana before, and I've known that it was a haunted plantation on a haunted place. And so I watched it, and it was so incredible. But short, if you take out the paranormal side of it, where people go and do tours of the grounds or the actual home, and they see ghosts outside the home, they see ghosts inside the home, they see rocking chairs moving on their own, they see the chandelier moving on their own, and it's just really interesting. And they have pictures of it and videotapes of it, and that's really cool and interesting, and I love that. But they also tell you there's 2, I don't know how to explain it. So there's 2 separate sections of, I guess, the history and the folklore that the people that own the plantation talk about. So I was explaining to you that there's the folklore side, the folklore stories, and then there's the history researchers side of it. And when you go and do a tour, or you're a paranormal investigator and you spend the night there, the tour will tell you of a ghost story of an enslaved woman named Chloe. And she's a younger woman, and she was bought as a house servant from the original owner, who was a man with the last name of Bradford, brought his family there, started the cotton plantation, and had enslaved people on the plantation there. Anyway, there was this young girl that he made as a house servant, and her name was Chloe, and she wore a green turban because the left ear, her left ear had been cut off because she was supposedly caught in the home listening to the family's business. And as punishment, they cut off her left ear. And so she wears this turban and it's lower on the left side. And people claim to see her when they're visiting the tour, either inside or outside. The also part of the story is Chloe was being abused by Bradford, the owner, which almost every single enslaved person was tortured or abused in some way or even killed. And she was abused. And as getting back at the family, she decided to make a birthday cake for one of the children and poisoned it with oleander. And there are two sides to the story where she either was trying to get back in the good graces of the family, saying how important she was by nursing them back to health after they eat this poison cake, or she was trying to exact revenge on them and kill them for her being abused. What ended up happening was Bradford's wife, Sarah, died, and 3 of the children died from eating this cake. So Chloe was ultimately hung and murdered for killing the family. And they also believed that the slave owners didn't want her ghost coming back. And so they filled her clothes with rocks and put her in the water and drowned her to put her body there so her soul could not rise and come back and haunt them. And this is the story that they tell when you're walking through the tour that they give about the plantation. We'll come to find out that this story is completely unfactual. There was never an enslaved person by any of the records when you look up the Myrtles plantation named Chloe, ever. They have records of every slave that worked on that plantation that this Bradford family owned. And there was over 100 of them, and none of them was named Chloe. Also, the wife, Sarah, died from yellow fever. She didn't die from eating poison birthday cake. And 2 out of the 3 kids died from yellow fever right after Sarah died from it. And so supposedly, Sarah was pregnant with her 3rd child in this ghost story, and the 3rd child died, but there are records of the 3rd child still being alive after mom and 2 of the kids had died from yellow fever. And the dad, Bradford, sent this child off to boarding school and sold the plantation and the home. And so the fact that we're telling a story about an enslaved person that's not real was a problem for me. Like, I was having an issue with it because this woman is a villain. She's portrayed as a villain, right? And it just didn't sit well with me. And I wanted to talk about that because the researchers into this family, into this history of this plantation, had all the name of the enslaved people. They had a detailed diary of another person of how they treated these enslaved people, these whippings and these drownings and these tortures that they did to these people on the plantation. And so they have a very good record and a background of what happened. But this Chloe person is not even real.
Right.
That being said, the story has evolved over the 200 years that this plantation has been built, because one of the owners, after Bradford sold it in the 1920s, this woman began to see a ghost of another woman wearing all green. And she was a younger French Canadian looking woman. So what these history researchers telling us on this show was these ghost stories are kind of fitting the time that you're living in. So in the 1920s, seeing a ghost of a younger woman that was French Canadian descent, clearly was white skinned, clearly Caucasian, wearing a green dress, has transmuted, I guess, to nowadays where seeing a ghost of dark skin, an African American ghost, an enslaved ghost, fits with our time.
It's more
right
salacious. It's
now.
going to have
Right.
resonate with
Right.
us in a different way now. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Which is upsetting to me. I understand that factually, right? I get that on its face. But another researcher came on and said, we should be talking about the enslaved community that has history with this plantation and the fact that they were trying to raise families, they were trying to have their culture passed on to their children and their community around them, and what that was like to live in a time where you're treated as property and you're owned and you're whipped and beaten and murdered and parts of your body are cut off. And they're trying to have a family and they're trying to pass on this culture of what that means for them to the rest of their family. That's what we should be talking about, not making up stories that aren't real to scare white people that are walking on this plantation. And then it goes to a bigger topic of why are we celebrating, women, white women in hoop skirts sitting on a veranda eating cucumbers? Or why are we celebrating white people getting married on these plantations? Like, we should not be talking about that. Still, we should be talking about these communities that were enslaved there. And that's where the education for me comes in, because I thought that was a fascinating way to see just this ghost story that is being perpetuated right now.
Yeah.
And wanted to see your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with a lot of it. I think that there are so many real tragedies that happen there, right?
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful home, right? It's a gorgeous, the buildings that are there are beautiful. The surroundings are really stunning and serene. We just drove through Savannah. It's beautiful there. To see all of that, it's very easy to get lulled into this, oh my gosh, it was so nice. It was just beautiful. And but on the other side of things, we have the information. We have access to the information of knowing that while there is this gilding of the women in hoop skirts, right?
Yes.
The incredible wealth that some of these families had, that they would be able to build these beautiful homes. I think it's now like it's an Airbnb now.
Yeah.
But behind that is the incredible just dehumanization, the suffering, the torture, the really awful, horrific things that were done to an entire group of people.
Yeah.
Right? They had no choice in this, and it's brutal, and it's a really dark thing that can have a really pretty face on it. Right? If you go to those locations right now, history's past, but it's still physically here, but all we're seeing is the gorgeous building. Yeah. And so it's crazy to me that there are people that are still getting married there, right? Because we all went to school. We all know that slavery is a real thing. How this got built. The reason this is possible is really bad things. The flip side of it is, currently the main docent, storyteller, person who does these tours, she's an African-American woman.
Yes.
And she tells the Chloe story. Because there are, and I'm going to say the same thing that one of the women said, I am a skeptic, but I'm not a cynic. I am not saying that there aren't ghosts there. And there were some very compelling stories about ghost sightings there. That one guy especially he's been there multiple times, and
Yeah.
it's like his big fun hobby, and he's got some very specific things that he was talking about. And I think it's totally valid that that place could have those energies attached to it.
Yeah.
But that woman, her name was Hester, who is the tour guide,
Yeah.
she's telling this story. This is her livelihood, right?
Yes.
Her history is attached to a country that has done these things. And the guy that owns this place now, he was taken there as a toddler, right?
Yes.
His parents bought it to have it be an Airbnb. So his entire life is this place. He's a white guy, but his entire life in livelihood is this place. So and it's good for the community to be able to bring in the tourists and to have this. So do you just knock off that whole opportunity for his income and for these people to build a life and stability? And is there value in folklore, right? And folklore, the telling of stories, the spoken word of it, and sharing in that way is such an important part, I think, of just being a human and being part of a community and having lasting traditions. I think those are all valid. And how things change and evolve over time, like you had said, I think is important. But can you have both? Can you have this folklore? Can you have this ability? We live in a capitalist society. Can we have this man run this, what is his family business, while also creating jobs, while honoring the actual dark history of this place? Right. And I think that that's really hard, because I think that there's a very, very valid argument that no, all of these places should be museums and we should all be learning about the atrocities of them. Just because they're pretty doesn't mean that they're worthy of being entertainment, right? Is that history entertainment? I don't know. I don't know. But also we need to talk about it. I think. And I think that there's also, I mean, there's going to be so much backlash because, I mean, we look at like the Confederate flag, right? Yeah. And from my point of view, I find it offensive. But there are people that say that that is their heritage. It's history and heritage, not hatred. And not every person that came from the South that had family from the South during the Civil War owned slaves. But everyone in the United States benefited off of the labor and slavery of that Black population that were brought over here. So I don't know. I think that it seems kind of clear to me, but also, again, does that guy have a right to own that and have a bed and breakfast? And more people will know about these things because they go to the bed and breakfast. Yeah. But is it his responsibility to educate? I don't know.
Right. It's just so hard. He, at the end, you know, he said, I want to be educated. I want to support. Tell me what I need to do to be better. And that's good for him to say, but I got a little feeling when he said that, because I feel like when he said that, this is my opinion, he kind of knows the answer already. But again, he wants to be able to make a living and have that income. So what do you do? And as a white person, I don't know that I'm allowed to even have an opinion on that.
I think it is important for us to have an opinion about it, because unfortunately, I think you and certain people are going to hear us out before they'll hear out the other people who for years have been like, don't fucking have a wedding at a plantation. Yeah. That's gross. Right. And it should be obvious. And people have been saying that for years. Yeah. But are there enough white women being like, don't have a wedding at a fucking plantation?
Right. No, you're right. You know? No, I get that.
Also, I'm on the East Coast. I've been technically living in the South since I was 11 years old. Mm-hmm. You've been living in Idaho. So our cultures and like what's discussed in like regular conversation is different.
Yeah.
So I think that information sharing is good and important. So
I agree.
But I can see why you're like hesitant.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, because it's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. And, you know, as a person, I was thinking about it, watching it. I watched it twice, thinking I'm going on this tour and I'm listening to this folklore or this ghost story about this house or this plantation that I'm touring. And then to come back and find out that that is all fake the idea bothers me, that it's fake, that they're telling a fake ghost story. And not to say that all ghost stories are real and valid and factual. I'm not saying that. But to find out that it's fake and they're doing it on purpose, I was like, oh, I don't know that I like that. Why can't you tell the story, like one person said on the show, tell the story of Chloe, and then turn around and go, this is not factual. This is not a real story that happened in this home. You know, we tell this story to entertain and scare you. Like, what's wrong with saying that? They don't say that, but this gentleman on this program said, what's wrong with saying that? And I would agree, as a person that would go there and do this tour and listen to this ghost story and get scared, want to be scared. If they said it's not real, P.S., I'd be like, oh, okay. And I wouldn't feel so sick like I feel sick now about it.
Yeah. And I think also processing that, like what we processed while watching it, processing that while you're there of like, oh, not only did this awful history happen, it's continuing to villainize and perpetuate this idea on someone who's not even real, but as an archetype for Black women of the time, like, it sucks. It's still happening. The message is still being pushed forward. And I think that's the part that you feel so uncomfortable with.
Yes.
I also think, I mean, there's, you know, government funding for museums and things like that.
Sure.
Our history is being actively erased.
Sure. Absolutely.
So do we depend on those places becoming museums? Because who's managing that museum, right? Whereas this guy that owns it now, if he does take kind of the feedback that he's getting and he really does move forward with it, I think what could be really incredible is preserving the true history, uncovering. I mean, the show helped uncover the true history of a lot of that I think, you know, he could be presenting that. That's what he could do. That could be an incredible legacy that could be. Because again, if his legacy is this plantation, he needs to honor the dark history of it and honor the people that suffered, that now he's making a living off of it. His childhood is based off that. I mean, it's so many generations of just darkness there that you have to shine a light on it. Yeah. And I think that's the only way to really move forward in an honest way. And I think a lot of people don't want to move forward in the honest way. It's like, you don't want to speak ill of the dead. And it's like, he was really great, but also look at this terribleness. Right. And it's really hard to acknowledge that. Yeah. So,
and I think what you said is perfect. And I hadn't thought about it that way, where I would rather, if you're giving me an A or a B, I would rather have this plantation open, being run right now, and how it's being worked with the tours and the Airbnb and this man making income, versus what's happening in our culture right now, where slavery is being erased and this plantation being part of the Museum of Black History, and our government coming in and shutting it down or demolishing it and saying there was no Black history, there was no enslaved, and they completely ruined this plantation.
Oh, they liked being slaves.
Right.
They got work training.
Right. No. And I would rather that not happen. I don't want the government to go in and lie and say, right, this was slavery never happened. And then, like I said, demolish this plantation or take it away from us. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it like that before.
Oh my God, thank you.
Oh,
I
yes,
thought a
you're
lot.
so pretty today.
You're so cute today. You look so good in
Stop.
pink. No, I thought a lot about it because I think my knee-jerk reaction was like, turn it into a museum. No one should be profiting off of this, especially a white dude.
Yes.
But I think that there is a way forward. I would hope, right? I hope that there is a way to like be realistic. Like, if we do want to make sure that this history is being talked about and continued to be learned and continued to be investigated, and I think, you know, none of that happens for free.
Yeah.
Let it be profitable.
Yeah.
And let that profit, let him contribute to that. So to make this place hold, I think to heal that, I think that that's a way forward. So I think I solved it.
Nice.
Did I just fix racism?
Oh my God. Everybody go to Netflix, start watching this series. It's called Files of the Unexplained. They have other stuff like UFO sightings. And I don't know if you watched any of the other ones, but there's a really good one about a lake in, oh my gosh, I can't remember, Michigan, Illinois, somewhere around there, Ohio. I can't remember. It's a really good ghost story-ish. Saltaire Lake, I think it's called, something like that. But it's a really good one. Again, these things are only 30 minutes long. People go and watch them. And they give you a lot of good history on top of these, right, spooky, scary things that happen in this lake. People think there's some sort of demon or monster or ghosts. People are dying in this lake. They said they had 200 deaths in a year in this lake. What is happening on this lake? And
why are we still going to this lake?
Right. So it's really good history, but the deeper of this is a man-made lake on top of a black town that was a white person in this town said a black man came into my home, and the white people in this town said to every single black person, get out. And they forced these black people out of this town and put a lake on top of it. And so there's like this huge history around this lake and this town called Oscarville that was all black people that had jobs and did wonderful, important things. And nobody was, you know, whipping them and enslaving them and beating them. And then one white person came and made this allegation and completely ruined this town. And then they put a lake on top of it. There's a lot of layers. It's a really good episode. So anyway, go watch these shows.
I love that they're quick too.
Yes. Really good.
I was shocked at how much like really interesting, good information was in there.
In 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
That was good. Okay. Now we're going to move to Bravo. But before we get into the shows, I had found this lady. I'm wondering if you've seen her. Her name's Caroline Dunaway. She's the work from home mom.
No.
She talks about reality TV. She's into all the same stuff that we are.
Okay.
She has a different view on at least the last video that I had seen of her. She still feels differently about Taylor, Frankie.
Oh, okay.
Paul,
TFP. Yes. Okay.
TFP. Then I do, but also I don't know because I haven't followed it closely enough. But she does a fun thing where she gives you 5 words. And within those 5 words, you have to guess the Bravo celebrity that she's talking about. She had one. I'm going to skip it. So I have 3 for you.
Okay.
Because they're actually kind of funny. Like, I really liked it. I actually did it for Matt, and Matt didn't know until the last one. Okay. So the first word is, and you have to guess.
Okay.
Sunglasses.
And it's a Bravo celebrity with sunglasses?
It's just a Bravo celebrity. Sunglasses.
No.
Second one. Nose.
No.
Third one. Lawnmower.
No.
That's what I got it on lawnmower.
Uh-uh.
The third one is bar.
No.
And the fifth one is hockey.
No.
No?
No, I got nothing.
It's Jax Taylor.
Oh, okay.
He stole the sunglasses. He's gotten a ton of nose jobs. Remember he got really into his lawnmower on the first episode of The Valley?
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah.
And then remember how he was like, he cheated on Brittany with Faith.
Yes.
And then to try and like distract everyone from being mad at him about that, he's like, I think I'm going to move to Florida for hockey. There's this job that I guess they're holding for him for 3 months. And he kept talking about how like hockey's his passion and how he was going to go do that. Remember? Okay. I've got another one. Okay. The first one.
Okay.
Taco Bell.
Okay.
Ring.
Oh, Lisa Barlow.
It's Lisa Barlow.
Thank you.
I know.
I was waiting for the second one. I knew Taco Bell. I was waiting for the second one. Okay.
The third one, this one was really easy and people really got mean to Caroline about how easy this was. The third word was wolf, then gorgeous, and then tequila. And then this one is really hard.
Okay. I couldn't even get Jax Taylor, so go. Hit me.
I know. I thought you would get it. Okay, but this one's really hard. Okay, the first one is podcast. Which is hard because everybody's got a podcast.
That's true.
The second one is book.
Okay. Is it Sheena Shea?
No.
Oh, okay.
The third one is New York.
Okay.
The fourth one is outfit.
Okay.
And the fifth one is cemetery.
I was going to say Bronwyn, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know now.
I think, and she did this, and it does make sense, but I also think it's super, super tricky for the fact that she said New York.
Yeah.
But if I get rid of that one and I say podcast, book, outfit,
and
cemetery.
Is it Ariana?
No.
Oh,
close though.
Okay.
It is Stassi.
Oh, Stassi. Okay. Cemetery. Yeah. Okay.
Because she technically did leave and go to New York.
She did.
That's a tricky one.
Okay.
She did her OOTD, outfit of the day, and then cemetery.
Okay.
She loved cemeteries. Bought her cemetery plot and got.
Okay, I was there with Vanderpump. I was there.
You were there with Vanderpump.
I was there.
You were 100% were. But that one's fun, right? So her name
good.
again is Caroline Dunaway, and she's the UFH work from home mom.
Yeah. Okay.
And it just made me laugh. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And message me, guys. I'll send it to you too. All right. So do you want to do the Valley first, or do you want to do Real Housewives first?
Let's do the Valley first, because I know that you watched like this week's, as we're recording, episode, which I did not watch, but I took notes on last week's episode, which is technically 2, but you watched the third one. I just want to say about episode 2, we don't have to get into it or recap it. The one thing, well, 2 things I want to talk about in episode 2 is Kristen's therapist needs to be fucking fired.
Oh my god.
Fucking fired.
What'd she say? What's 15 minutes out of your day?
Bitch, what is she have a male therapist? Like the actual fuck. I've had therapists that I didn't really mesh well with. They would have never said that to me.
No one can say that.
No. No. I'm so sorry. And the second thing I want to talk about is Danny and Nia, and Danny just being a fucktard and making jokes, and Nia is on her last unraveled string, and he does not give 2 shits. All he wants to do is have sex with her. And the fact that these men feel as they're entitled to their wives' bodies makes me physically sick. You are not entitled to your wife's body at all. I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. I don't care if she goes 10 years without having sex with you. I don't care. It just was gross. It makes me uncomfortable. I felt so bad for Nia. And I was a Danny fan. I'm really not getting there. This 3 episodes with him really upset at him.
it's this weird like regression.
Yes.
And I don't know, and it feels like regression. I don't actually know if it is, because I'm not the first person to say this, but the idea that like the fact that we don't have Jax there,
yes,
is just bringing to light how shitty everyone is.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are talking about the men. I think it's also Brittany. We're also seeing how shitty Brittany is in a new, broader light. I'm frustrated by a lot of this cast right now. I think the other part about, we'll just kind of talk about post-pregnancy sex. Danny took Zach to go with him to his appointment for his vasectomy.
Yeah.
And he was like a little baby the whole time.
Yep.
And just making junior high jokes. And even Zach is like, are you serious? And Zach has no idea, like, he's not involved in any of this. He doesn't have to worry about any of this shit. But he's taking this more seriously than Danny is.
Yep.
And the fact that Danny's like, well, you know, if you get a dog fixed, then they, you know, chill out, and I don't want to lose that vitality. What the fuck? That's not what this is. And even the doctor's like, yeah, I'm not castrating you. You're keeping your balls. It's just like, what are you doing? What is your problem? And the fact that he doesn't, like, he would even ask that question tells me he doesn't take any of this seriously. And you can see that Nia is overwhelmed. She is trying so hard. And as a mom, Nia is constantly qualifying or justifying. I can't think of the right word. Where every single time she starts to say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or like, this is a lot, she's like, and I'm so grateful, and I love my children, and we know
that is the equivalent of Nia.
She's a good mom.
That what she's doing is the equivalent of Nia going, I'm having some feelings, I'm starting to get upset, and then slapping herself and going, don't feel
She can't have the feeling.
Nope.
She's being ungrateful if she has that feeling.
Yep.
Your kids are beautiful. Why don't you want to give them every bit of you?
Yep.
You're like,
what?
She is.
Please have a feeling.
You can't pour from an empty cup. She's like, everything's great. I'm so happy. Our house is so beautiful, but the drive is really long and I'm so tired. But I am fine. I'm working really hard. And it's like, we find out that she's homeschooling these kids.
And how does it take 2 hours to drive home? That is so unconscionable to me, to say that out loud to your partner, and your partner go, fuck, I really didn't realize that is what would be happening, whether they're teenagers, whether they had kids at all. For her to just drive 2 hours home is not okay and completely unthinkable. And then after his vasectomy, he goes home and blatantly lies to her while joking, saying, right, I can't do any housework. I can't help you with anything. I can't pick up the kids. I can't physically move for 10 days. And she goes, the fuck? That's not real. You can put some ice on your balls and you're fine. And he's like, well, we have to have sex 35 times. That's also not what that meant, sir.
Also not what that means.
Not what that meant at all. That he is disgusting and gross. And I also had this one thought too, where at one point he was explaining to Tom how they met. Was it Tom at the party, how they met? And they met at church, and they have, I'm a big, Danny says, I'm, Christ, and, I'm all of these things. But in my head, I am picturing
person and man of faith and
these Christian men that tout all of these Christian faiths and beliefs, and then Christy Nome in the bedroom, husband, right, are disgusting sexual deviants. He's like, I want to freak in the sheets. And you're like, you just started talking about Christ 5 seconds ago.
You were talking about how you're a godly man. And I'm not saying that you can't be a person of faith who doesn't also have a fantastic and healthy sex life. I want that for you. But
fine.
You're telling your friend that your wife is a freak in the sheets is fucking... There's a culture here that they have, this group of friends, where they're all very invested in whether or not Luke's getting laid.
Mm-hmm.
And they want Kristen to be having sex too. Why does Zach want Kristen to have sex more than Kristen wants to have sex?
Right.
That's fucking weird,
Yep.
Zach. I mean, I know that you're trying to be a supportive friend, but like, this is not where she is at.
Right.
It's weird. And the fact that everyone knows, and the fact that Luke is like, we had sex before we came over. We actually did it. We had sex.
All I pictured in my head is Kristen lying there, not moving.
And just going, okay, fine.
Him on top of her, just thrusting and then getting up and leaving. That's what I pictured. It just made me feel so sick and so sorry for her. But I will say one other thing I wanted to mention was, I think I figured out why this show is so disgusting around men, because the one little, what's their confessional or their interview when they're away from the cast and they're sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey was talking about where she grew up, right? And her family and where she lives now, and her divorce and her daughter. And the producer interrupts her and says, so you did really well in your divorce. That's what you're telling me. That is a misogynistic response. Why do you have to say that to a woman? You wouldn't say that to a man. You're not going to look at a man and go, boy, you made out in that divorce, didn't you? Because she is so rich. This is a producer of this show.
That's an excellent point.
That's an excellent tried to make her feel disgusting and shamed because she made a lot of money off of her first divorce. And she was having none of it. And she was like, damn straight I did, as every woman should. She put him in his place. But if this is the person that is creating the show, of course we have these storylines of these lonely men that are not getting what they need. Mm-hmm. It was so gross.
It's so interesting to me. That is such a good point. And actually great timing, because I do feel like, do I like Lacey?
I know, right? Yeah.
Do I like Lacey?
Yes.
Do I think that there's probably whacked out craziness? 100%.
Yeah.
But her relationship with Jesse, I think Jesse is the problem.
Yes.
I think Jesse is the problem with Michelle. And I think that if Jesse hadn't pushed Lacey to have a conversation and told her whatever is going on, Lacey is a people pleaser. Lacey does, I mean, Michelle called it. Lacey wants everyone to be her friend.
Yeah.
And then she's had some freakouts. We've seen her do it. But what information was she being told?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Jesse acted like it was shocking that it was inappropriate that she was at the Zen party last season. Mm-hmm. And his reaction makes it seem like that would be true. But everyone else around there goes, "What? I don't think Lacey would have shown up." No. I'm sorry. Lacey seems like a badass. Everything that we're seeing about her. And even Jesse's like, she does this, she does this, she does this. She's amazing. She does this. And she's holding her own. She has her own career.
Yep.
She's taking care of her daughter. I think it is a little bit odd that she and Jesse are getting their kids together so soon. Mm-hmm. But also she's like, I'm not moving him in with my daughter. Like, I'm not doing that. I was like, okay, I appreciate her. I see her in a different light that I wasn't expecting before.
Yeah, the fact that she said to him dead ass in the face, I will never live with another man as long as my child is underage. And why would I move my child for my selfish reasons? If you already don't know that as a parent, there's something wrong with you. There's something fucking wrong with you. And that's when I started to like her. I'm like, oh, uh-oh.
I know.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. And I think you can be Team Lacey and Team Michelle because all of that shit is caused by Jesse.
Yes.
All of that shit is caused by Jesse.
Yes.
Is my guess on it.
Thank you.
So I'm feeling very like I just anti-Jesse.
Yes.
These men.
Yes.
This weird culture of these men.
Yep.
And none of them, I'm really not a fan of any of them. Except for Zach. I think we're going to call out everybody for their behavior because that's what we're doing on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think we're even like, it's not like we're asking for perfection. We're asking for decency, basic decency.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that. You're not getting it from Luke. You're not getting it from Danny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the women, on the other hand, Michelle goes out on a date with Schwartz, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Cute, but also makes no sense.
Yeah.
Schwartz is he's as deep as a puddle. I want there to be more to him, and I don't think that there is.
There will never be. No.
Even when he's going through all of these awful things with his family, I don't, and he's like, I'm self-reflecting. I'm like, what did you learn? What are you building for yourself? What are you doing better other than you're loving yourself better? What are you really doing? You're not surrounding yourself with better people.
Nope.
Like, what are you fucking doing? And Michelle, I liked that date though, because it kind of gave Michelle an opportunity to talk about, she's still going through so much shit.
I know.
And I feel like, she just got dumped, which is such a bummer. And Aaron sucks, but Aaron let her stay in the house with her daughter. Like, she moved out there. He let her move out there. Yeah. But then he's like, you stay in the house. I'm going to go figure stuff out. Like, I'll be at my mom's while you get your new place sorted. And she was there for like I think that's a decent breakup. So I think she's going to have hard feelings and has every right to have hard feelings about all of it. But I was like, okay, I don't totally hate Aaron. It wasn't going to work out. And then we move on a little bit farther, and like, then there's Lala. And Lala is having a birthday party for Ocean, right?
Sosa.
Yeah. Ocean can't be there because she's not allowed to film.
Yes.
So Sosa is having her first birthday, and somehow Lala still, I don't understand what she's doing.
Is acting like she's 21 on Vanderpump. Yeah.
Trying to get laid by the lifeguard, who was gorgeous. But also, you hired him. Right. That's inappropriate.
Hello.
You're paying him money to watch children. Why are you trying to distract him with your vagina? Leave him alone. Mm-hmm. That is inappropriate. And she knows it's inappropriate, but it's like funny. She's like, it's on brand. I'm like, well,
you're older. Let's move on and be mature. Please.
Also, not appropriate. Like,
and your mom and
like, who is it? Pepe Le Pew. Like, she is a female Pepe Le Pew. Yes. And he's not on the cartoon anymore.
Yep.
Then she also, like, she wants to be out and social and part of everything again and wants everything to get smoothed out. And so she's like, hey, Janet, I think Nia is like ready to talk things out with you. And then she had framed it to Nia like, don't you think it would be nice to give her an opportunity to like say something? So I think they both thought they were going to get genuine apologies, Janet and Nia, and neither of them really got one. And Nia was cold as ice.
Perfect.
Protect your peace.
Yep.
Protect your peace.
Yep. She thinks nothing about Janet, and so there's no reaction or emotion there. But before that, Lala was not involved when Janet tried to get an apology from Jasmine, who was not having it at all. I mean, come on. What are you doing, Janet? Janet is Janeting all over the place. Jasmine's not going to give you an apology for the chaos that you caused around her, about her. So, Janet, go away.
Now, as someone who went and gave an apology and then didn't get one back, when I genuinely feel like I was owed one, when that happens, you don't go, don't you want to apologize to me? Because this really hurt my feelings. How come you're not apologizing yet?
Yep.
That's not how you handle it, Janet. This is what I was saying last time. I was like, you get a little bit of therapy, get a little bit of fame. You think you have it all figured out, but no, she doesn't. I think that it was wild to me that she did that. And then she's like, I can't believe it. And it's like, yeah, no, when you don't get when you don't get the reciprocal back and it clicks for you that this isn't going to be able to move forward in an authentic way where we both feel whole at the end. Because there are people that have arguments. You're going to have rupture and repair people. I learned that in therapy. You're going to have your fights and your disagreements with people. And there are going to be times that you have to agree to disagree to move forward. If you can't, there are going to be times that you go, I need this from you. And if you can't give it to me, I've got to back off. You don't even have to announce it. That is something you say to yourself. That is your own thing. A boundary, when you set a boundary, that boundary is for you. It's what your actions are. I don't think that Jasmine owed her an apology. Also,
no.
Looking back, and we're going to talk about Real Housewives, I think there's a lot of rewriting history.
Yes.
Like people, I think I've said it also, the cognitive dissonance where people are choosing to remember things in a different way that backs up. And I think that's how the human brain works fine. But Kyle points out, there are cameras. We will see this. You didn't go back and rewatch last season? Did Janet not go back and rewatch last season?
Right.
Could Janet ask her therapist to go back and rewatch the season and be like, am I wrong? Because I think a therapist would go, do you think maybe you didn't handle that well?
The balls of Janet to open up this show and go, we had a really tough time last year. A lot of really tough things happened. And I just want everybody to get along. Bitch.
Like she didn't
It was you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it was you. You did all of these things. It's shocking to me. I don't understand people like that. And then for her to sit on those couches and tell the camera, in therapy, I learned that I said words that had hurt behind them, and I said things to hurt people on purpose, and I don't want to hurt people on purpose, and I want to rearrange my language and not use hurtful language. Why can she not say that sentence to Nia or to Jasmine? Yeah. Why?
Yes.
You said it to the camera. You know why? Because she doesn't believe it. She wants her therapist to see it and be like, good job, Janet. I saw you on TV. Yet she doesn't mean it. But she'll say it on the couch, and I just shocking. I cannot stand her.
It's learning things in therapy and then misusing them as like weapons. Yes. And listen, we've all been there. We've all done it. But you have to do better.
Yeah.
You got to do better. You're paying too much money to not do the actual work.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm doing so much work in therapy right now.
I know. You're doing so good.
Thank you.
What happened in episode 3? Brittany had a party or something? What was it?
So much.
Brandon
happened.
was there?
Brandon came. They had a Y2K girls night.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Which was what? I don't understand.
A little bit nuts. So they're like, it's a Wednesday. Well, because like the most fun that they had was during those times because that's when they were young and out and partying.
Okay.
I was in high school. No, I wasn't. I was 12. I don't know. But they were like, you know, big fuzzy hats and butterfly clips and lots of glitter and bright pink. And they get a party bus because Nia is still exclusively breastfeeding.
Oh, okay.
So they take the party bus with Nia's mom and baby to this Y2K club.
Okay.
So that Nia can, when she needs to,
breastfeed. Okay.
Go back into, which is kind of a genius solution, but also like, if you're wasted, do you want to get into a party bus with an infant?
Or do you want the infant to drink your alcohol milk? Yeah, no.
Well, she drank mocktails the whole night.
Okay,
like,
good.
I don't know why it's this push to go out. The first season and the second season, when everybody was having little babies or they were pregnant, do you know what you do? You all get together at somebody's house.
Right.
You get cozy. Why is no one getting cozy with these women who just had babies? Yeah. Why is Nia being told that she needs to go out?
I know.
Why is Kristen being told that she needs to go out?
I know.
Why are we not going to their house?
Yep.
Or like, Brittany, have them over? Because Brittany has a setup for babies, right? Like, she knows how to make
Was
that
it Brittany's
happen.
idea for the party or whose idea? Or was it
I don't remember. I don't remember whose idea it was.
A couple of them, it was their idea.
I don't remember whose Y2K girls night party it was. But like, and then afterwards, Zach took Michelle out
Okay.
And because it was in WeHo, so
Okay.
like West Hollywood, like I've ever been there. And they go out to like a bunch of the gay nightclubs after.
Okay.
And it was just like, it's fine. But they're getting ready. They go out, they get like full glam, of course, to go do this. They're having people do their hair and makeup. And then it's all about like Kristen is going to get laid tonight. Like Nia made the comment.
Ugh.
Zach's making the comment. Luke slept out on the couch. Luke was out on the couch, so hopefully when she got home, she'd be wasted, want to have sex with him.
Ew.
And then and of course, and she actually did. Somebody, I think Nia said it in the party bus, and Kristen goes. Ugh. Kristen had some drinks, but she did not get drunk. So the next morning, Luke's like, "How are you feeling?" He brought her like a stack of pancakes, which looked beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, how are you feeling?" She's like, "I feel great. You can't have a baby and be hungover." And Luke's like, "Yeah, you can." And she's like, I can't have a baby and be hungover. So like, is it physically possible? Yes, of course it's physical, but she can't feel okay with making those choices. And nobody gets it. Mm-hmm. Even Nia, because I think Nia's been so brainwashed by all this. Yeah. Also, all of these people are in their 30s to 40s, right? Why is everyone still acting like, why does everyone still need to feel like they're in their 20s?
Right.
Why do you still need to go out? I'm not saying that a date night isn't important occasionally. Yeah. But it's really not easy.
Your date night is different now than it was when you were in 20 or on a show called Vanderpump Rules, right? We're not trying to recreate that. What are they doing? I'm not interested in that.
Not at all. Mm-mm. And it's like, I'm not significantly older than these people. I just started my family earlier. I don't understand why I didn't even do it that young. I was 27.
Yeah.
I don't understand what their push is for this. Yeah. And is it fun? Sure. But do you need to do that once a month?
Yeah.
To go out to the bars in a party bus. I haven't done something like that in years.
Yeah.
Years. And I don't have the want to go do that.
Ugh, no thanks.
I will say, Matt and I did go to, our friend was playing in a band. Is in a band. King Quilt, they're great. But we went into Orlando and we went to this place that was like dive bar venue. Mm-hmm. And teeny, teeny, tiny. Smaller than my living room, the whole space.
Low ceilings.
Yes, like tiny. And then like we're like listening. There's not that. It wasn't like a crazy crowded space. But we're like listening to, there was a band that played that was pretty fun. And then our friend's band played. And like, while the music was going, there are some people there that were in like their 20s who looked, well, the girl looked very cool. There were a couple cool looking girls. And then there was a guy who was wearing like a trucker hat and had big mutton chops and just like, but then they both just start smoking. And I've never felt so old. I was like, Are we allowed to smoke indoors? Who's smoking indoors? I can't stand next to It was ridiculous. It was awful. And I was like, I'm not gonna be inside where people are smoking. Gross. And that was my life when I was young. Mm-hmm. But I don't look at that now, and now I wouldn't know myself.
You want to go recreate that real quick? No. No. Sorry. No, thank you.
It was fun though. I did like it. And then afterwards, Matt and I got coffee, and it was nice.
So the girls had the Y2K.
Zach went out. Zach went, and they had fun. There was drama though, and this is such manufactured drama because apparently Jasmine and Lala went out to dinner together. They're not really close friends, but those two went out to dinner together because they're on the show, right? But they didn't really show any of it. They filmed it. Okay. Because they did like a quick little flash to it, but clearly it wasn't interesting. Okay. Jasmine, I know you're getting married. You're not interesting enough apparently for this show to make that the centerpiece of usually when someone's getting married, it's a big deal. Yeah. And we barely heard about it. But anyway, so basically Michelle was lamenting to Jasmine and a couple of the other girls, like, it just sucks that, I'm in this situation where if you guys weren't all friends with Jesse, I wouldn't have to be dealing with him all the time. Like everything, but people are like, I like Jesse, so they have to deal with it. And Jasmine makes the comment, well, everyone has to deal with that at a little bit within this group. Like there are people within the larger group that maybe we don't necessarily want to be spending our time with. And Michelle's like, who do you mean? And she's like, well, like Lala. I wouldn't be close friends with Lala. I wouldn't be hanging out with Lala if it wasn't for this. And she's like saying the larger group, but she also is clearly meaning the show.
Yeah.
And Michelle
tells Lala.
Like, tells Lala. And Lala's like, the fuck? We just went to dinner. What? And then it gets kind of like extrapolated to like, Michelle had said that Jesse is a showman. And then her saying that was the same as Jasmine. There's too many fucking people in this show to remember everyone's name. Jasmine saying that Lala was also like a showman putting on an act for everything, but with their friendships. Blah, blah. The whole thing
and
is
she
dumb.
got upset, obviously.
They have like a little back and forth, and it's dumb. The whole thing is dumb and
stupid.
Jasmine gets heated immediately because I think she does know that she was wrong, but immediately gets heated, and then they try and squash it. Zach gets involved. It was so nothing. It was like of nothing. Then we see Brittany go out with her new boyfriend Brandon to like a very nice place, and they order like a shit ton of food that's very fancy. And you can see him being very proud of himself for pulling out the chair for her.
Ew.
Zach's not a fan of him, not because he hasn't met him.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's moving too fast. Like, remember last episode, he was like, oh, are you boyfriend, girlfriend yet? And she's like, no, I'm taking my time. Well, Brandon's going to ask her to be his girlfriend at the dinner with like a special cake. And then they end up, so now they're boyfriend, girlfriend. Which sucks. And then the next day, Nia and Danny are having a housewarming party out in Santa Clarita, which everyone treats like a full-on road trip. Like Schwartz is going, he's got a neck pillow for the back of the car.
Oh my God.
I think they were in the car for like anywhere from 1 to 2 hours to get there. And they're all like, terrible. This sucks. Yeah. They're all carpooling. It's a cowboy themed one because it's a new, I think it's like a new frontier or something.
Oh, nice.
Because they're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Danny's doing this like cowboy accent. They're all really dressed up. Nia's trying to get the party set up. Danny got like 70 pounds of meat, different kinds of meat to like roast up. And she's like, okay, gotta feed the baby. We gotta get this ready for the party. And he's like talking to her in the accent. She's like, I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you. And you can just see like he's the showman. He's putting on the show and doesn't see it at all that she's like,
of course not,
stressed.
Right.
And it's so obvious because he's too busy being like a character.
Ugh.
Brittany shows up. She's got her new boyfriend. And then she like pushes Zach and her new boyfriend together. And the boyfriend's like, well, can I eat something? Like, let me go eat something. Like, we don't have to talk immediately. And she's like, no, I need you guys to get it together now. Like, charm him and get it fixed. So let's go. And Zach is very direct. He's like, I feel like it's moving very fast. And I feel like he says in the interview that when Brittany is in a relationship, she basically is like, I'm happy. I'm in this relationship, and then ignores everything else. Mm-hmm. She's like, but I'm happy right now. I got my sparkle. And it's like, but you're not looking at all the... Yeah. Zach's like, you're colorblind to the flags because there's red and green. Mm-hmm. And this guy has 2 baby mamas. She, at their like dinner together, had brought up that she's like, I know that there's red flags. Like, I'm not saying that you, and he's like, well, I do have red flags. Like, look, I've got kids. I'm in the middle of this divorce. He's only recently been separated and in the process of a divorce. And Brittany's like, well, she doesn't think that that's because of me, right? Like, you and I didn't start talking until well after and he's like, I don't know. She's making everything difficult. Oh, God. So he's already speaking negatively about his ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife. And you're like, you've been on this show for 4 minutes. And you're putting that into the universe?
Oh, God, dude.
Mid divorce? What are you doing?
I don't love this. Okay.
Don't like it. Another thing that he does wrong, and then he tells Zach that, like, they're boyfriend-girlfriend now, and it's actually okay. He also, the Lala Jasmine situation's being talked about back and forth.
Okay.
Well, as they're in the car and Lala's talking about everything, he starts taking up for Jasmine, like, immediately. And he's like, listen, I've only seen her as pleasant. She seems like she's always up for a good time. She's always nice. And Lala's like, you just got here. Why do you have an opinion? Which I don't think is wrong.
Right.
I agree with Lala on that.
You're not wrong,
Do you know what you do as the brand new boyfriend who's just meeting everybody for the first time? You sit and you listen.
You shut
You
up.
sit and you listen. And you find out what your girlfriend thinks. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
You're in a small car. You're going to be in a small car on the drive back, and you're going to talk.
Oh.
You're going to take up for the opposite party. You don't have an opinion. You don't really know yet.
Yep.
And then he gets the party and tells Jasmine.
Oh, what a fucker.
Yeah. So he's sitting there, and then as he's like, yeah, well, this is, and then Jasmine and Lala are like, well, what did you say? This is what I heard you said. Is this what you said? What did you say? And so they're doing that. And they're like, no, Brandon, come over here. What did you say? And then Brittany's like, you got to go fix this. And it is so exactly what we have seen Brittany doing with Jax for forever. Where it was just like when they had the pool and when he had like pants Danny and she's like, oh no, you need to go fix that. And she's like, you need to go fix this. And she's like, I don't want all of my friends to like think badly about him now because of this. And it's like, because of his actions and their repercussions within their group,
right?
Because of what he did, you don't want them to see him in a negative light based on his behavior.
Yeah.
What? No, that's exactly how this is going to go.
Yep.
So that was just dumb. Then also, remember how Lala last episode was like, Nia, you should go talk to...
Yes.
Or...
Janet.
Fucking... Yes. Too many fucking names. Okay. And also, I wrote the wrong names and had to cross them out many times. Earlier in the episode, Luke calls up Jason.
Oh.
I wrote Zach 3 times.
For what?
To have coffee. And then he actually he's like, I can't have coffee. I'm going to have an alcohol, like spritzer or whatever, because I've had too much coffee today. Whatever. So anyway, and Jason had been in court, but they were able to get together. So he's like, Jason's like, it's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a long time. What's going on? And he's like, I think that it would be really nice if you could talk to Danny and apologize to Danny. And Jason's like, what are you talking about? Okay, I haven't heard from you in forever. And now he's like, well, I don't want things to be irreparable. I want to be able to move forward with things. You guys had a real friendship. I think we should do this. And I think you can fix things.
Okay.
And Jason basically says, listen, I'll apologize for, I called a grown man names. I'm almost 40. I shouldn't be yelling at another grown man and calling him names. There are things that I could have handled differently. Absolutely. But also, I think they have a lot to apologize as well. Who needs to apologize to Jason?
Right.
And Jason's like, I do see now that like I can be triggered and I'm triggered by, one of my triggers is my wife. Jason's in a tough spot. Jason's gonna have to back up his wife. He's married. He's happily married. So like if your wife is gonna be a little bit wacky, you have to deal with the consequences of that if you want to stay married to her, right? So he's going to lose the friendship with these men who aren't even that great. So anyway, he's like, yeah, I guess I'm open to a conversation, but I also think I deserve an apology.
Oh, God.
So, okay. Then Luke brings up at the housewarming party, hey, Danny.
Oh, no.
I think I went out to coffee with Jason. And Danny's like, why would you do that? And Danny has some good points. And you know I'm not on Team Danny right now.
No, agree. Yes.
But he's like, he's done too much. I don't know. He's like, and this is something that my therapist told me I need to do, is I need to not give an answer right away. Because I say yes and then I regret saying yes, or I say no and then I feel like bad. he's like, I need to sit and think about whether or not I can do this. And Luke's like, well, tomorrow at the cigar bar, we're going to get all the guys together and we can hash this out. That sounds fucking dumb. Do it at church.
Oh my God, right.
I think we need like a priest.
I was just going to say
exorcism of this group.
Yes.
And Danny says, he's like, but you want to be friends or something like that. And he goes, well, is he your friend? Danny says to Luke.
Yeah.
And Luke goes, well, I would like to be able to get there. And Danny says, if he had done to you what he did to me, he would not be my friend anymore.
Yeah. Valid. Facts.
Valid.
Yep.
Valid. So that's the end of that.
And Luke had nothing to say, or they didn't go back to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Luke is team, I want to move things forward. But I'm also like, can we? I don't know that we can. I don't know that. I feel like this friend group is too fractured.
Yeah.
I feel like, so we need to start cutting the fat. There are too many people.
Oh God, yeah.
Too many names.
Yes.
I think we need to pick Michelle or Jesse. I think Jesse is more interesting. Sorry, Michelle. I think Jesse is more drama to watch. He's a piece of shit, but he's better TV than Michelle is.
Okay.
I think. I find Lacey compelling.
I
but
feel
she's also like extra. Why is Tom Schwartz on there?
Through Lacey, we might get more explanation and validation for Michelle because of Jesse. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Like
100%.
when Jesse was sitting on the couch saying, Lacey makes me a better person and demands things from me, or I don't remember what I wrote down, but I wrote down after that, that's exactly what Michelle was trying to get you to do and be responsible and do these things. But Michelle was a bitch and a horrible person and a cheater and a liar, but Lacey does it and she's the best thing that's ever happened to you. Like Jesse is the problem, like you said. But I think through Lacey, maybe we'll find out that we shouldn't, I don't, but people out there hate Michelle for no reason, I think. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm hoping that will happen.
Michelle was messy, but messy in the way that you're supposed to be on a reality TV show this season. I think Michelle's a good person. I think Jesse's a bad person.
But everybody vilified her and believed him. Yeah. And now with Lacey, I feel like I'm hoping it might come out and more people would be on her side just because of Lacey and, saying, yeah, Jesse's being stupid right now. It wasn't Michelle. It was her.
Understand what Lacey's doing with Jesse. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. But because they're 10 years apart, I had to give it a goog. They're 10 years apart. She's 34 and he's 44.
I feel like there's this weird thing where she doesn't. Is it just the validation that he's giving her?
Maybe.
Like maybe he just makes her feel really powerful.
Could be. That's fine.
It just seems like a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of effort to do that.
But I'm Team Michelle. I don't want to. Why is Tom Schwartz on there? Schwartz, you're right. I don't like him. I've never liked him. I was upset at him, the whole Vanderpump thing, everything with Katie, him and Sandoval. Like, what does he add besides the stupid caricature thing that he does, right? No. I mean, when Tom Schwartz is explaining women and explaining women's bodies to you, you have done something wrong. You're in the fucking Twilight Zone, Luke, when Tom Schwartz, the biggest idiot on the planet, is explaining to you, maybe, dude, you shouldn't be forcing your wife to have sex before she's ready. That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
It's a problem. I wrote that down too. Like, Schwartz
I forgot about that.
Doesn't know anything from anything. Kristen called him a Jaeger bomb at a sports bar, but he's explaining to Luke how to take care of his wife. Like, hello.
He said postmortem instead of... What does
postpartum.
It mean? Postpartum. I can't think of postpartum either. So justice for Schwartz.
It was funny.
If he gets that and Luke is like laughing at him and it's like, listen, if you want your wife to have sex with you, whining about not having sex is not an aphrodisiac.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Asking her what she needs done.
Right.
Giving her the room to get into the headspace. Not getting her drunk enough to get her into the headspace.
Yep.
Giving her the room to get into the headspace in like a genuine... I don't think that it happened until after I was done with high school, but I really like the idea in sex ed of teaching kids that they need to get enthusiastic consent. Mm-hmm. Enthusiastic consent is what you are aiming for. If you're not getting that, then it's a no. Right. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Right.
And that's, I guess, what Luke is missing. Like, why do you want to have sex with someone who's like, I guess.
Right. I mean,
but Jesse's doing the same thing because do you think Lacey's like, I can't wait? Or do you think she's like, fine?
Exactly. No, I think so. I think so. But still, I mean, and when Luke says he's feeding the baby, right? He's got the baby on his knees and Kristen is next to him and they're discussing, right, how he says, you know, I want more intimacy. And he looks down at his daughter and goes, without her around, are you kidding me? That made me sick. You don't look at the partner of your life and go, without her around. How about you let Kristen take a shower? How about you let Kristen soak in the bathtub? How about you let Kristen have a nap? How about you let Kristen have something to eat that is not something disgusting left over on a tray somewhere? Because she's not eating, she's not sleeping, she's not showering, she's not changing her own clothes. But you don't give her the time to be able to do those things. And then you blame the baby and go, because of her? Ick.
Let's even say that he is. Because, I mean, we saw him make pancakes. I think, let's say that he is doing those things. Let's say he's doing all of those things and Kristen is still not in the headspace. Him doing those things doesn't equal she owes him sex.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying to them, like, there will be the argument, oh, but he did do X, Y, Z. It doesn't matter. Like, he needs to be supporting her the way that she's supporting his fucking child.
Yeah. And not blaming the kid in front of her. Yeah.
This weird thing where, like, there are some men that want to be the baby.
Mm-hmm.
That are like, you give all your attention to the kids.
Yep. Okay.
What?
Because you're not helping, dickhead.
And also, I want to be the baby.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, I don't know if I can handle this show.
This is like, it's tough.
It's a tough watch. It's making me so frustrated because at least like Real Housewives, at least it's so separated from like where we are, and it's like, oh, because they're in a villa in Italy.
Right.
And like they're upset because everyone's looking at their ex-husband's social media page and it's being sent and put on page 6. Like, that's not a life that we can, but it's like interesting to watch.
Yeah. Agree.
The Valley, they're living a life that's not that far away from yours and mine. Right. They're in the public eye.
Yeah.
But they're not, I'm sorry, Lisa Barlow, they're not that different, right? Their life isn't that different than ours. Yeah, I can't. I'm not on anybody's team right now. I don't I like Zach, and that's it.
Yep.
And Zach's not amazing. I mean, I like Zach, but Zach's not enough for me to put up with everybody else.
Or to put up with the feeling that I'm feeling sick watching the show and I'm super uncomfortable. Like I don't want to watch something that makes me uncomfortable. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna watch something else. So
we gotta go in a different direction.
Yeah.
But people that I can't relate to.
Speaking of different directions,
let's move into Beverly Hills.
Well, we pick up at Rachel's birthday party, and Sutton and Kyle, right, are talking shit about Dorit behind her back, of course. And Kyle is saying Dorit's on a path of destruction. I cannot, with Kyle rewriting history, like you said, I can't. Yeah, and then Erika and Boz are talking, and Erika says, I need some space from Dorit right now.
And then Dorit walks over.
And Dorit walks over and sits down. And then who gets up? Jennifer Tilly gets up and says, I'm going to go find out.
Jennifer Tilly looked so good.
I'm going to go find out what they're talking about. And Erika tries to wave Kyle and Sutton to come over. And they all reluctantly come over to this big group. But then Tilly leans in and asks Dorit, right, did you talk to Kyle or have you talked to anybody? And Dorit says, no, I'm having issues with my daughter from school, right?
Yeah.
And is explaining that. She's like, my head's not in the right space. I don't want to have this huge conversation when I'm overwhelmed and anxious about my daughter going to school. And then Sutton sticks her stupid southern nose in and says, it would be really nice if you just went to Kyle and apologized for not talking to her. Bitch, are you smoking something that I'm not? What are you talking about? Sutton?
I was flabbergasted.
Yes.
I was shocked when she said that. It made zero sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Give Kyle an apology for not calling her?
No.
These are grown women also.
No.
Like, let them figure out their relationship themselves at this point. Like, this has gotten so bad. We've had multiple dinners where they are yelling and cursing at each other.
Yeah.
At this point, everyone let them figure it out on their own.
And Dorit is not wrong for saying Sutton is doing Kyle's bidding because you
100%.
know Kyle wants Dorit to call her and apologize it. You know she does.
Right.
And so, of course, Sutton's going to go, I think you should go do that just to be a nice person. Fuck off, Sutton. No, I'm not going to go do that. You know why? Because she didn't do that for me. She didn't call me.
No, and we're also not going to ask anything of Dorit right now.
Right.
Is everyone going through shit? This is like a genuine, like, I do take issue with some of how Dorit has behaved. I think a lot of the people in the group, we keep bringing up the lateness. We keep bringing up I'm a little stressed about how she's spending money.
Yeah.
Those things. There are valid concerns. There are valid frustrations with Dorit's behavior. Okay? It is not enough to suddenly throw baby out with bathwater and be an asshole to Dorit about it.
Yeah.
Right? You address it and then you move on if you're a real friend. Kyle refuses to do that and just keeps trying to wind everyone up. Mm-hmm. And she's taking very valid things and then turning them into something way bigger and turning Dorit into a full villain, which I don't think is fair. I do think that Dorit has a lot on her plate. And I have been through, I went through some shit in the fall where my kid was having issues at school and it was incredibly stressful and incredibly overwhelming. And I could not take on anyone bringing any of their extra shit to me in that moment. I couldn't sort out other things at that time.
Or weaponizing how you're acting against you, right? I'm sorry, Jen, but why are you snipping at me? I'm sorry, Jen, why are you not calling me back? No, you can't
that's not
do
the biggest
that.
Thing.
Yeah.
You can have, and everyone has their own fucking shit going on. And I didn't need to give anybody an explanation about what was going on.
Yep.
That doesn't take away what I was going through. Doesn't take away that other people had their shit going on.
Yeah.
But to ask her to be a fully functional, great friend right now, not a fair ask, right? And then also, she has to acknowledge that, like, everyone else can't stop everything that they're doing every time that she's in a crisis.
Sure. That's true.
Is the other side of it. And Matt's bringing me coffee.
Yay!
Yay.
He looks like he drank half of it. Look, that is not filled.
What are you
He drank some of that.
No, he makes this, so these are like reusable Starbucks cups.
Oh, okay.
But they're not actually from Starbucks, I don't think.
Okay.
I think they're a knockoff, but he makes his own cold brew.
Okay.
This is really good.
Okay. No, I totally agree with that. But I also want to shout out that Kyle is not talking about the fact that she's in this lesbian relationship or she's talking to Morgan, right? Nobody, and Erika's not talking about this man that she's seeing, but you expect all of these things from Dorit.
From Dorit, yeah,
And
100%. It's being weaponized against Dorit in this really bizarre, unfair way where we're holding her to higher expectations. They're moving the goalposts with Dorit.
Yes.
Where they're like, I don't know, Erika was able to recover from her like really rough time, right? She's still going through it and she's learned from it and she's better from it. Unfortunately, she's kind of succumbed to, you know, Kyle is her friend.
Yep.
And Dorit's her friend. And she wants things to get better. Plus, she's got her own shit on her plate. And I think in that kind of weakness, she's getting overwhelmed by Kyle's like onslaught of like Dorit's being a bitch.
Yes.
She sucks. This is bad. And it just, I don't know. I think that Dorit needs to give room for other people to not have her be the focus, but also Dorit needs to be her own focus right now. Yeah. So being like Dorit's not there for everyone else, she doesn't have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I'm Team Dorit, even though I think that the problem why this is Kyle's been so successful on kind of creating this like army is because she's taken valid points.
Yeah.
And pushing them all into this, like, she's got all of these points that are here, and she puts them all together and, like, and therefore Dorit's evil. And it's like, that's not what this is. Yeah. That's not what this is. Yeah. And, of course, Dorit's not going to manage it well because Dorit's got too much shit to manage this well.
Right.
While I do think that Dorit's being a great friend to Rachel Zoe.
Yeah.
I think she's being a supportive friend to Boz.
Yeah.
And it seemed like she really was trying with Sutton, so...
Well, Sutton is full on out right now because Rachel came and sat down and Sutton felt like she was shut down because Rachel and Dorit got up and left. And Sutton had this overreaction saying she got shut down by Dorit, which was not even the case. And then crawls back to Dorit and interrupts a conversation to tell her,
again,
you hurt my feelings. But because of all of that stupidness, now Sutton is completely done. Sutton's totally done with Dorit. At the end of the party, you know, we find out Dorit has asked everybody to come to her book cover launch party, invites every single one of them, Kyle and Erika and Amanda and Sutton included. And because of this stupid interaction, Sutton's not going to the party, calls Boz and says, I'm not going. And Boz is like, oh, dude, like that's not the right.
You know this is going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. And Erika and Rachel meet at Rachel's house. And Erika says to Rachel, you know, I should call her and say, I don't feel like showing up. I don't think we're in the good place right now. I'm not going to show up. And Rachel's like, right, it's going to be a thing. She's going to think you're on Kyle's side. If you don't show up, you need to say something.
Yeah.
And she doesn't show up. And she doesn't email, text, call Dorit.
Anything.
Just no show, no call. And we find out Natalie isn't there because she's sick. But at least Kyle texts her and says, you know, based on what's happened the last little while, I'm not going to go. Okay, not showing up, whatever.
I think it's totally valid for Kyle to say, hey, my daughter's about to get married. I just have too much going on.
Yeah, fine.
Best of luck. You didn't even have to say, like, we're not on good terms right now, plus I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
She could just be like, I'm overwhelmed with what's going on, but I wish you the best.
But
and that's
she sent a text.
She doesn't. Which is, so at least she did that.
Yeah. Erika did none of that.
No.
None of that. And shows up at Sutton's house at the very end. And Sutton keeps claiming to the camera, we did not plan this. I, however, think they did plan it behind the scenes and nobody filmed it. But it just looks too coincidental to be a coincidence to me. Anyway, so they're talking about it and they're upset.
Is weird. It's very weird to me. Because I think that Erika is a very good friend. And I think that she got caught up in the middle of the Kyle Dorit thing. And I think that she's just not.
I'm super disappointed in Erika's behavior. Super disappointed. I think Erika is more of an adult than this. And I think you're right.
She's also just tired.
You know, she's tired of it. She's tired of Kyle poking her. And she's like, fine, I'll pick a side. I guess I'm picking Kyle. Fine. You know what? Now you've picked a side, Erika, and now you've lost people who used to like you, like me. I'm done. I just think it was wrong for Erika to do that.
I think that Erika got really hurt when they were in Italy, and I think Erika's stance initially was like, you two need to get this figured. And she kind of said, like, I want you two to get this figured out. Like, we have to be able to move forward. This sucks. I don't want to be in this position.
Yeah.
And Dorit is activated, and she throws stuff at Erika that wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because Erika wasn't really siding with Kyle. But I think Erika
at that
point, I think Erika was trying to say, like, listen, like, I think she was trying to soften Kyle's delivery while also being like, I'm concerned / frustrated by this behavior. Like, and this tension can't keep going. So she was going to maybe be a mediator, and instead got lumped in with Kyle. And she's like, you're lumping me in with Kyle. I'm with Kyle. Is how I read that.
Erika was even telling Kyle to not be the third wheel between Dorit and PK. Remember that? Erika was like, Kyle, you need to step out. Just don't get involved. That's not a place you want to be.
And then Kyle was like, I'm not even talking to him. And it was like, we know that you were.
We know that you are. But then Erika is now.
That was last year?
Right.
It still happened.
Now Erika is between Dorit and Kyle, which is ironic. But no, I'm disappointed in her. I think Erika saying, the lateness has finally got to me, I think is weak. I think it's weak. She needs to come with something different than what Kyle has manufactured. That's why I'm upset. But, apparently they're still not talking. So
that's a bummer, because
it is a bummer.
I really liked them as friends, because she's who. Didn't Dorit tell Erika first?
I think so.
That she was getting divorced?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. And even Amanda showed up. Amanda, we saw talk to her husband and go, I have no reason to go to Dorit's party. Dorit has made my summer crap. She and I keep getting into it, and there's no reason for me to be there. Why would I go? And then she turns around and says, but I want this for Dorit. I want Dorit to be happy. I want her to have an income. I want her to have support. So I'm going to go. Amanda is doing this. And I cannot stand Amanda, and I don't want her to come back next year. But she shows up for Dorit at this party.
I'm cynical. I think Amanda wanted to be photographed.
Well, she didn't look that great to be photographed. I mean, she put her hair in a claw clip.
I was a little surprised.
Wore some crocheted outfit. Like, whatever.
I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah, whatever. And that's fine.
But Amanda's not like our pinnacle of style in this.
No.
Group. Actually, the bonbon dress was nice.
I'm just saying that Erika couldn't show up, but Amanda can. I mean, come on. And Sutton, Erika and Sutton should have been there. Just like Bo says, you show up, you give her a kiss on the cheek, you have a glass of champagne, you say good luck, and you leave. Like, this is what mature adults do. And then you can have a discussion later about what the issue is, but they're not doing that.
Here's what I'm curious about. Boz, I think, is very close with Dorit, obviously, but I think Boz wants to have a relationship with everybody.
Yeah.
I think she does. And I think she's actually now at this point, because Boz wasn't creating a rift between Kyle and Dorit, but I feel like Kyle was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, Kyle's the one pointing out. Boz wasn't in competition with Kyle.
Oh, God, no.
Kyle started that.
Yes.
Boz is like, let me hear you out. Boz was trying to build that bridge with her.
And backing up Kyle to Dorit going, I think Kyle is really concerned. She's really your friend. It's coming from a good place. To her face. In front of everybody. That's what Boz was doing. Kyle wasn't doing that.
But now that this has happened, can Boz have a relationship with Kyle?
Right.
It seems like Rachel Zoe is Team Dorit. Is Rachel Zoe going to be able to be friends with Kyle? Like, is Kyle going to allow that?
Right.
I don't know. Sutton, we already know where she's going. Erika, we already know where she's going. Amanda, please don't be back on the show.
Right.
Amanda, be done.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, be done. So I'm curious how this is all going to shake out.
Yeah. Agree.
I'm bummed because I think I also heard the same thing, that Dorit and Erika still haven't spoken. And that bums me out because I really did like their friendship. This is another thing where it's like, these friendships are getting, like, I get that there's going to be drama, but you have to be able to come back.
Yeah.
And for some reason, everyone just escalates to the most intense version of things, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And then do you know what we don't have? A decent show.
Right. Right. No, I agree.
So,
I mean, we get to see Boz a little bit was the other part. She is proposed to by Keeley, and so we see that.
I really liked that.
So
I'm not totally charmed by Keeley,
either.
And I don't know. Okay, did you watch the daughter's face while it was all going down?
I did.
She
did this.
And I was like, is she emotional and she's trying to hold it together? Or is she like just trying to be happy for her mom but isn't like totally on board?
Yes, I think it's the latter. Happy for her mom but not totally on board. That's what I think. That's what her face was saying.
That's what I read. But I don't know. I think she wants her mom to be happy more than anything.
Absolutely.
But it's, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she looked great.
She looked great. It was
everyone
very
looked
sweet. I had a couple of tears because she was genuine. Boz was genuinely happy about it. Her calling his mom Mrs. Watson, I'm dead over that. I'm dead.
Why?
Mrs. Watson, thank you for showing up. That is so mature. It's so respectful. It's so another world. People don't do that now. People don't talk like that now. And it is a form and respect that is, through the roof. And she didn't call her Jane or whatever her first name is. She just said Mrs. Watson, like she's a teenager showing up at the house for the first time and doesn't know these people. I was just floored, and I loved every single second of it. It was so cute.
It was a really nice proposal. The whole thing was really, really nice.
Yeah.
I really liked the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Boz. I want Boz to be happy. I want all the good things for her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel suspicious of Keeley, but
yeah,
I don't want to be. Yeah. I want it all to work. I do want to talk about Natalie.
Okay.
Just that she did the Kyle, or just like kind of like our friend ofs.
Yeah.
This season at parties have been better than anybody else at the parties.
I know.
And that sucks.
I know.
Remember what Kyle used to be there, our woman doing the splits, and she's in better shape right now. Why is she not doing the splits?
Mm-hmm.
You're at a Studio 54 party and you're not dancing and doing the splits because you're in a pissy mood. Boring.
Right.
Natalie, bring Natalie back. And apparently Jennifer Tilly was like, yeah, I would be doing the splits too if I had gotten the divorce. Who was she married to? I don't know who she is.
It was the guy that did like boy bands or something. He's in the music business, I think.
Simon Fuller,
yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just had to Google it.
Yeah.
Yep. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good
for
for her.
Jennifer Tilly is the best hype man on the planet. Can we just say that? She's so...
Someone gets up to give a speech, she's going to scream woohoo with them first.
Right.
She's going to
dance
with your kids.
She's
talking to jump into the pool.
To Dorit at the party when Dorit's like, there's like 3 people aren't showing up. And Jennifer Tilly is still hyping her up and being like, this is the best party. I'm so happy for you. You did such a good job.
Yeah.
I just because of nothing, because she's Jennifer Tilly, because she's just fucking
She's just
awesome.
Sweet and kind and wants good for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And like, she's going to go and have fun and she's going to muck about in the drama. Like, what's going on? What are you talking about? I'm going to go listen.
Right.
But she doesn't, there's just such a goodness behind it. Like, it's just this like love of fun.
Yes.
That she has. And I love that she jumped into the pool with Rachel Zoe's son.
I know.
And oh my God, Rachel Zoe's son. He's so sweet. These people, I know that everyone's going through shit. It's kind of exhausting though. Like, I want them to be going and having fun and doing fun things and like persevering. Like, be an example for everybody.
Right.
Right? Like, be an example of what we all want to be doing. And do you know who I think is doing it really well right now, but it's not recording? The show's not on right now? Our Salt Lake City girl, Bronwyn.
Oh, yeah.
She's out. She's into designer clothes. She's got a hot fiance. She's doing all the things. That's what we want to see.
Right.
I want to see fun. I want to see thirst traps. I want to see fun.
Yeah.
I want you to go to parties and dance. Like,
Right.
and dance.
And go to Italian villas that I will never, ever even see on Google Earth right on my phone. And I want to see that. I want you to go there, and I want you to, go to Italy and go to the Prada store and the Gucci store and all these stores and buy things. I can't go to those stores. I can't buy these things. I want to watch you do it.
I want to watch Jennifer Tilly shop.
Yes. I
want to watch her shop all the time. So I don't know. I want fun. I want fun from these housewife shows. I will say Rhode Island is
I have
wild.
watched it.
Wild to me. These women, one, still can't tell everyone apart. I thought one of them, her husband was cheating on her, but it was actually the other one. And then I saw them next to each other and I was like, shoot, that's two different people.
Yeah.
And that was like a whole issue for me. I do enjoy this show so far. And like I said, I'm hoping that like there's like shit happening, but also they're having fun while they're doing it. So I'm just hoping, I want the fun stuff to continue. But the one woman whose husband cheated on her, she could go.
She could go. I agree. She could go. I don't know why we're focusing in on her some more. I really would love to focus in on the Dolores lookalike Liz, because people think that she's cheating on her husband with this friend Dino guy, right? I want more of that, and I want to know more about Kelsey and her polyamory, right? I want the man that she's living in his house with all of his money, but still seeing
6 months a year
somebody
and, like,
else.
You live with your live-in maid,
right?
Who does all the cooking and cleaning in the
Hello,
house.
I know.
And she's like, but I think I might want a baby.
Oh my god,
no, you don't.
What?
Do you know what's better?
Right.
Live-in nanny.
And the ex-reporter that has got her nose into everybody's business and is like, I heard she's doing whatever, but this bitch over here is doing this. And, I don't know. I love all of it. I'm not a fan of Alicia, who's got the deepest accent on there. The one that is not married. She's been engaged for 9 years and her daughter just turned 9. She, her accent is like a Boston accent. They say coffee.
I thought that was the Dolores lookalike.
No, Dolores lookalike is Liz. That's Liz.
Fuck. See? No, I can't. Oh my god.
But Joellen, I think is a mean girl, wants to be a mean girl, but then talking to her husband, she's like, I don't know why people think I'm like that and all of these things. So I'm not really sure about her yet.
She's the one that showed the picture of
Correct.
the affair.
Yes.
She's mean all the time.
She is mean all the time.
But sometimes that's fun.
No, I get that. And then Ashley couldn't be cuter because she keeps asking, okay, how does that girl know that guy over there? And where's that relationship again from? Because she's not from there.
Right. I was telling you, she is our Heather Gay. I
love her.
Because she's like, guys, do you need a refresher? Because
right.
I'm also lost.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
I really like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a thing on TikTok that was like an explainer of her.
Oh, okay.
Through The Bachelor.
Oh, okay.
Like and they're like, here she is crying. Here she is crying again.
Yep.
Here she is getting dumped. Here's her chasing after this guy who's not interested. Who she ends up, like, he was not interested. He was with someone else, and she just keeps butting in. And she's like, but we're meant to be. She wore that man down.
Mm. No, I like her a lot. I like Ashley.
I really like her. I'm a little stressed for her marriage.
I am stressed for her marriage, but you're right. She is us just sitting at the table going, what was it again? Yeah, I love that.
Wait, her brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You dated her brother and you married him? Like, wait, what's going on again? No, I totally get that. I love it. and they're holding seashells. Cause I was like, I can't, what are they holding? What are they holding in the promo? It's seashells. Okay. It just took me a minute. Cause you have Salt Lake is sunflower and then Beverly Hills is the diamond. And I don't know what the other ones are, but, I was like, what are they going to hold for Rhode Island? Seashells. So.
I love that the one lady's like, I'm the captain of the boat. Like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Good for you. Wonderful.
Right. It is a totally different, it is beautiful there.
Oh,
but like
my
it
God,
has to,
yeah.
the only way for that to work is if you have a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to take
And the
a day
one
out
lady
today.
that you and I were just saying, we're like, oh, why is she on the show with the affair? Her house. Holy crap. Oh my God. It's like Beverly Hills. It's gigantic. It's huge.
And you're like, are you all in the mob?
Yeah.
But they're not. Like, one's a doctor.
Yeah.
Someone else is a coffee shop reality TV
And
star.
pizza. There's pizza owners. And then
pizza
Liz,
owners.
Dolores lookalike, owns a dispensary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the pizza shop owners, how are they making enough money
No, I agree.
to live like that?
I totally get that. Mm-hmm. No, I get that. There's some money laundering back there. It's Rhode Island.
Allegedly.
Come on.
Allegedly.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Until I thought, for one thing, Kelsey with the polyamory and the guy, I had convinced myself that the guy that she is in the relationship is a guy from a manosphere. I convinced myself that he
very
was,
much,
but he's
very
not.
much.
They came out and
Oh.
said who he was, and he's not. And it's
But he's not
whatever.
going to be on the show.
He's not going to be on the show. But anyway.
the boyfriend, her other boyfriend, might be.
Yeah, he showed up. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because I'm one behind still.
He did show up, and I'm not a fan, but whatever, it's fine. So, but again, it's a thing where the way he comes off, I'm not used to it, and so that's why I'm like, I don't like him. But she's used to that because she lives there. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
It's a very like, I think we would call it like machismo.
yes,
It's a very there's a word for it.
I don't.
Where they're like the men are very like actively showing and displaying their masculinity, and
Yeah.
there's like a way that you have to hold yourself, and
Yeah.
there's a way you have to behave, and
Yeah.
Upholding that is super, super important. And that's like, there's a lot of cultures that are like that.
Yes.
Right.
But the women are definitely overtly like, I'm in control, and I don't care
It
how
is a-
masculine
it
you
is a-
are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic
Mhm.
for how that works, because it's like when men were men, right?
Mhm.
And then, but also you have it, and the women ruled them.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, what's going?
Yeah. How does that work?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Love it.
And you know what it is? It's that they function independently.
Yeah.
I think is a big part of that.
I agree.
It's not the Midwest Mormon keep sweet.
No.
Super submissive wives.
Yeah.
This is men do this and women do this, and they're both powerful in those
Yes.
things. Whereas they have these very feminine, masculine roles.
Yes.
But also, like, it's like we've got the alpha and the boss bitch,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah.
very different than, like, the softness of the trad wife. That's not what this is.
No, my God, no.
So,
Yeah.
but whatever works for that. It's fascinating to watch. And I find most of the women incredibly charming.
Yes.
I really I like all of them except for the one lady whose husband cheated on her.
Yeah, I'm
Which,
down with that.
you feel bad. I should be on her side, but I'm really not. Don't
No, I
show
get-
up at your friend's work when she was like, he's cheating on you. But also it sucks to be the one that's like, he's cheating on you.
No, I get that.
You asked
Why
for the
would you do that?
pictures.
Why? No, I don't love any of that. No,
Because
I
the messenger, you're never going to win.
agree.
You're never going to win.
No, I get that. Totally. Totally
So.
get that.
All right. Well, now that we're totally caught up on, we're ahead of the game for the Valley. So we're going to watch, we'll probably we just give the Valley a break next week because it won't be on yet. And then we'll decide if we're even going to talk about it anymore. And then we'll do, I think, the reunions next week.
Okay. I thought it was in 2 weeks, but okay. It doesn't matter, but it'll be Housewives.
Post-COVID, does time mean anything anymore?
It's true.
Who knows?
It's very true.
And then we'll also do, we're going to do, Keeley's going to teach us a class on, is it called PSIs?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Which I thought was really interesting. And we'll catch up on a couple of those court cases and maybe something else. Who knows? We'll see.
Maybe something else. Yeah. We'll see. Okay.
All right. Love you.
I
Thanks
love
for doing
you.
podcast with me.
Yes.
All right. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.